Hi there, I'm Cath. Welcome to my channel made by Cath Craft. Thank you very much for joining me for my latest video. In this video, I'm going to be popping on every day this week and sharing with you what I'm wearing for my handmade summer wardrobe. We're at the start of a heat wave here in the UK that's supposed to last over the next week or so. So I thought it'd be fun to share with you on a daily basis what outfits I'm choosing while the weather's so warm. It'll be a good chance to get out some of my really summery handmade outfits, and I'll pop on and share with you the patterns and the fabrics and the adjustments I've made and that sort of thing. So I'm really looking forward to sharing my wardrobe this week, and I'm starting today, which is Saturday, and I'll pop on every day until Friday. So yeah, I'll kick off with today, and today is Saturday, like I said. My husband's off work and my children are off school, and it's lovely weather to be in the garden. We're going to do a paddling pool and that sort of thing. But I've actually got a bit of a treat today. I'm heading out shortly for lunch with some of my friends. One of my friends relocated to Ireland recently and she's come back for a couple of days. We're meeting her for lunch, which should be really nice. So I've got on something that feels a little bit more dressy because I'm not just going to be hanging around the home today, but something that gives a bit of coverage too, because I'm going to be walking into town in the sun. And I find this pattern is perfect for this sort of hot weather, but where you want a bit of coverage too. Is this pattern here, which is the Charlie Caftan pattern by Closet Core Patterns, which is a really lovely dress pattern and one I really enjoy wearing in hot weather. I'll show you the line drawings. It's quite a loose fitting dress pattern with this deep V-neck, and it's got these kimono sleeves. There's a slightly more wider sleeve opening version, which is lovely and breezy for hot weather, but there's also a slightly smaller sleeve opening, which gives it a bit more coverage, because with the wider sleeve opening you can sometimes see a little bit of bra in at the side, so like that version gives a bit more bra coverage with this slightly more brought up sleeve. Then it's got this little sort of centre panel here, and you can make either a version with these sort of pleated details, it's quite architectural, or a version that's a bit more soft with this gathering at the front. And this gathered version is also can be made as a full length sort of maxi dress, and you can add on waist ties if you want to cinch it in. The waist ties are sort of sewn into the sides of this sort of centre panel. So it's got some really pretty details, and I love this dress. It's nice and covered on the shoulders, but also lovely and breezy and cool, particularly when you make it in quite a sort of swishy, lightweight fabric. And it's got a really good size range on this pattern too. I've got the paper pattern, which goes from a US 0 up to US 20. There's also a PDF version that goes from a 14 up to a 32. So very size inclusive and just lovely, perfect to keep you kind of cool, but also covered on a hot day. And the version I'm wearing today is the second Charlie Caftan I've made. I've made two versions of this pattern. And I've made it in this really, really beautiful Atelier Dupe viscose fabric that I was very lucky to win in a competition on Instagram. And it's such pretty fabric and such nice quality too. It's really nice to sew with and it's lovely to wear. And it's got such a pretty print on. It's got this dark green base and this sort of large scale, almost sort of tropical floral print on, with really pretty different green colours and some pops of coral too. I just really love this fabric, and what I love about it especially is that I don't usually go for green, so I probably wouldn't have picked this myself. But when I won it and I got it, I thought, actually, I love it and I really enjoy wearing it. So it was really, fortuitous that I did win it, and I really enjoy wearing it now. And I've gone for the deeper length sleeve just because it is so nice and breezy in hot weather. And I've gone for above the knee length version just because the amount of fabric I won meant that I couldn't have made the maxi dress. I didn't have quite enough for that, but I quite like it above the knee. And I've gone for the version with the gathering underneath the centre panel. I'll stand up slightly so you can see it. And I also added on the waist ties just to cinch it around the waist so it isn't too loose. And it's got pockets too, so it's nice and practical, and it's just lovely and breezy in this weather. And I think I sized down on this pattern because the finished garment measurements do show there is plenty of ease on it. So I went for the size 0, which is designed for bust 31 inches, waist 24 inches and hips 33 inches. And I'm 32, 26, 36, so quite a bit bigger, 2 inches bigger on the waist and 3 inches bigger on the hips. But actually there's still loads of room in the size 0. I think maybe for my first version I made the size 2 and I found it a bit too roomy. So I sized down, and the size 0 is fine on me actually, and there's still plenty of room in this one. In terms of the sewing skill level on the Charlie Caftan, Closet Core gave it a 2 out of 5 difficulty rating. But I find it's quite a fiddly one to sew, particularly around getting the facing to lie nice and flat and sewing around this neckline. And also inserting the centre panel, that's quite fiddly too. I definitely think it'll be easier if you chose a really stable woven fabric like a cotton lawn, and I've made it trickier for myself by choosing a more drapey, shifty fabric like a viscose. But I definitely find there's a couple of fiddly bits with this pattern, and what I'd recommend if it's your first time sewing it is, on their website Closet Core have some more in-depth instructions to kind of complement the pattern and the pattern instructions, and I'll link them down below, and they take you through steps like inserting the centre panel in quite a lot of detail, And I found those extra tutorials, I guess they are, really, really helpful. So yeah, I'll link them. I definitely recommend checking them out. I found that really helpful, particularly for inserting this centre panel. So yeah, but it's a lovely lovely pattern, and it is quite satisfying when you do get the finish okay on the centre panel and the front. It just takes a bit of time, and definitely if you're working with a viscose fabric, it does make it a little bit trickier. But I'm planning to head off now and get myself all ready to go out with my friends. So what I'm going to do is when I'm heading out the door, I will take a picture of me wearing this dress and I'll put it up here so you can see what it looks like on. I'm planning to wear it with a pair of red sandals that I got this summer that I really like. Hopefully that'll go quite nicely and make the sort of green pop against the red. And so yeah, that's what I'm planning to wear for my walk into town and lunch with my friends. I'm looking forward to having my shoulders nice and covered because it does look really sunny out there, and I am one of those people that does burn rather than tan. So yeah, I'll head off now to get ready for my lunch with friends. So I'll see you again for tomorrow. I have to think about what I'm going to wear tomorrow to keep cool again then. So yeah, see you again tomorrow. Bye. Hello, it's Sunday now and it's just coming up to midday here. And it's another very, very hot day here. We've been out this morning. We went to see my sister and my niece, which was nice, but it was quite a hot walk there and back, so it's quite nice to be back home in the cool now, having a bit of a flop. But I thought I'd pop in here while my children are having a bit of a rest and a bit of quiet time to share with you what I'm wearing today. And I've got another summery dress on today. I wanted something that sort of covered my shoulders because we'd be walking out in the sun, but something that would keep me cool too. And this is one of my older makes actually, but it's one I really, really love and always enjoy getting out. And I made this dress using this pattern here, which is the penny dress pattern by Sew Over It. And I haven't actually made a lot of Sew Over It patterns. I did a video a couple of months ago talking about the Sew Over It patterns I had made, and I was surprised I hadn't made more. And this is one of the earliest ones I tried. It might have been the earliest one. And it's one I still really love. It's a really pretty pattern. I've got two versions, and this is my oldest version. But I'll show you the line drawings. The penny dress is a shirt dress, and it has some really pretty details on it. It's got a button down front, and quite an interesting little sort of detail here on the shoulders with ruching. There's kind of a shoulder panel with little ruching at the front and back. And it's got a flat collar. And I think this was my first collar I ever sewed. And it's quite nice because it's a flat collar. It hasn't got the stand-up bit. It means it's a bit more straightforward. So I find it quite a nice sort of gentle introduction to sewing collars. And then it's got an elasticated waist which pulls it in, and it's got a half circle skirt, so the skirt's really floaty and swishy, which is nice. And I do find Sew Over It patterns have really good instructions, so I found following the instructions for sort of making the button placket and for putting the flat collar and all that sort of thing, it kind of held my hand through the whole process. And this pattern's got a really good size range. I've actually got the old version, which used to go from an 8 to a 20, but it's now been extended. So there are two size ranges. There's a B cup size range that goes from a UK 6 up to a UK 20, and there's a D cup size range that goes from a UK 18 up to a UK 30. And in terms of sizing I made on this version, I went for the smallest size that was available when I purchased this pattern before they'd extended the size range, which is a size 8. And that is designed for a bust of 33 inches, waist of 26 inches and hips of 36 inches. So it's bang on for my waist and hips, but an inch larger on the bust. But I find that absolutely perfect. And actually it's quite nice having the top of this a little bit loose because it is quite nice and breezy on a hot day. And it's hard to see the little details actually, but there is ruching across here, which is quite hard to see. And then I've gone for little pink buttons, which I thought would kind of match with a ditzy floral print on my version. I'll stand up so you can see them a little bit. And I think the penny dress is designed to be sort of a midi length dress, which is obviously quite on trend now. So it's got sort of a vintage feel to it, but I think it's quite on trend too. But I actually ended up shortening mine a little bit. I found the midi length at that time I wasn't so keen on. So I've kind of shortened my version to just above the knee. And the fabric I use for my version is a fabric I haven't used recently at all, but I really like to wear. It's a cotton voile, and I got it from Minerva, and I think I went for this fabric originally because it was quite reasonably priced, and the penny takes quite a lot of fabric because of the half circle skirt, and I didn't want to risk spending too much money and then sort of making a bit of a mess of the dress, so I thought I'd go with a cheaper fabric. And so I just kind of got the cotton voile by chance, and I wasn't quite sure what it was, but it's lovely. It's really nice and light and floaty. So it's perfect for a summer dress, and it's quite soft too. And mine's got this sort of dark green base with these sort of pretty white and pink flowers on. So I really like it actually. It's funny, I've worn green 2 days in a row, and I'm not usually a green person, but yeah, I really like this one. And I'll put a picture up of me wearing it today. The half circle skirt makes it lovely and swishy and nice and lightweight for this weather. One thing I would mention, which I didn't do with this dress, and I do notice a little bit, is I didn't leave it to hang before I hemmed it. So I'm not sure my hem is the most even on this dress. And I don't really mind because I still love wearing it and probably no one else would notice. But I think if I was going to make it again, I would definitely leave the dress to hang because it's cut, sort of part of it's cut on the bias, different bits drop different amounts once it has hung for a little bit. So that'll be my top tip if you decide to make the penny dress. But yeah, that's what I'm wearing today. I'm going to finish up now and go and make the children their lunch. I think they've probably had a bit of rest now and starting to get hungry. So I'll see you again tomorrow. So yeah, see you tomorrow. Bye. Hi there, it's Monday now and it's very, very hot here. We're definitely reaching the peak of our mini heat wave. I think the temperature's set to go above 30 today, which is, yeah, pretty hot for around here. So today I'm going to be trying to stay inside and keep cool as much as possible. And I've got a outfit on to try and keep me nice and cool too. It's a handmade woven top and a pair of handmade shorts. And you can probably guess the pattern for the top based on the sort of shape of it. It's this pattern here, which is the Ogden cami top pattern by True Bias, which is a really nice woven cami top pattern. I really like it as a simple cami, and I think it's perfect for hacking too. I've hacked it a few times by sort of cropping it off and adding on gathered skirts. I've made a maxi version and a midi version and a shorter version. So yeah, I do really like this pattern. I've definitely got my money's worth from it. Yeah, it's a basic woven cami top pattern with this deep V at the front and back and spaghetti straps and quite a sort of boxy straight fit. And it's got a really good size range. I've got the US 0 to 18 version, but there's also a US 14 to 30 version, and the 14 to 30 version has a couple of differences. It's got slightly wider straps and it's also got bust darts. It's a really nice sort of loose fit cami, so perfect for not being too clingy in warmer weather. And the version I'm wearing today is the first Ogden cami I ever made. And I made it in this really pretty Atelier Brunette viscose fabric, which is lovely and silky and soft. I think it's called Moonstone, and they used to have it in a few colourways, a really pretty dark green colour and a sort of ochre colour as well. I don't think they stock it many places anymore. I think it might have mostly sold out. But I got it in this really pretty pale pink colour, and it's got these splodges on in sort of a creamy white and dark grey and a sort of deeper pink. And I really admired this fabric for a while when I was sort of quite new to sewing, and I made this top out of it because I didn't want to buy too much fabric in case I messed it up, because I was quite new to dealing with sort of delicate fabrics. And the Ogden cami doesn't need too much fabric, so it's perfect for trying out a sort of fancier fabric. And I still wear this top loads now. It seems to have worn well, so I'm glad that I can still wear it, and that, yeah, the fabric, it did turn out okay, so I didn't waste this lovely fabric. And I made, I think, the smallest size, the size 0. And that is bang on for my chest and waist measurements. It's designed for chest 32, waist 26, hips 34. So I'm 32, 26, 36, so 2 inches larger on the hips. But because the Ogden cami is quite straight fit and boxy, I don't find I need to grade out at the hips. And actually, I lengthened this version slightly so I could tuck it in, and I do mainly tuck it in, so probably the hip measurement isn't too critical for me anyway, because it's not really sort of sitting along my hips. Yeah, it's a really nice breezy, relaxed top to wear in this hot weather. And I teamed it with a pair of shorts that I made using this pattern here, which is the Chi-Town Chinos pattern by Alina Design Co. And it's a pattern company I'm not too familiar with, and it's the only pattern I've made of theirs, but it was recommended to me when I was looking for a slightly lower rise pair of shorts, which I really like for hot weather, because I find high-waisted shorts can be a bit too hot and tight in hot weather. But somebody recommended this pattern. It's a really nice one, actually. It comes a shorts version and a skirt version. And it's almost like a sort of jeans style pattern, because you can add on belt loops. It's got bar tacks like you would have for jeans, and it's got this fly front zipper. It's got slash pockets, and it's got loads of different ways to customise it and loads of different ideas in this pattern. So the pattern's got quite a lot of information in. There's different pockets you can add on the back too. So I think you can have quite a lot of fun playing around with this pattern. I've not made the skirt version actually, but I think it would make a really nice denim skirt. But I made the shorts version here with the slash pockets and the fly front zipper. And I've got pockets on the back too that I don't really use. They're just mainly there just to kind of look pretty, I guess. And I made my version in an enzyme washed navy blue linen that I got from Guthrie Garni, which is quite a nice weight. I guess it's maybe like a medium weight, so it's substantial enough for shorts, but not too thick to make it hot in this weather. And I'll stand up so you can see how the shorts look. They're probably a bit creased because I've been sitting down for a little bit. So So hopefully you could see a little bit of the shorts there. They've got the fly front zipper, they've got the little pockets in the back. I've added little turn-ups on the bottom because I quite like that style. I'll stand up again in case you didn't see that. Yes, I've just turned them up slightly. And they've got a quite nice low rise. They're really comfy and loose to wear. And linen's great for this hot weather as well. And I found the Alina Design Co instructions really good. They really go through all the different steps in quite a lot of detail, and you learn how to make belt loops and lots of different sort of fiddly bits. So it's quite a nice pattern for sort of upping your skills. I think there are a couple of expansion packs available too, to turn them into sort of longer chinos possibly. And there might be a couple of other variations too. I'll link the pattern down below in case you fancy checking it out. It doesn't have the biggest size range ever. It goes from a US size 0 to 18. And when I made them, I think I started off by going with my measurements and kind of grading between sizes according to my measurements. And I made a wearable 12 version in a linen look cotton, just to sort of check the fit. And I did find it needed a bit of tweaking, particularly at the back. I had to bring in the back a little bit because I do have a bit of a sway back. So I then went on to cut into my proper fabric these shorts, having tweaked the pattern a bit. So I guess with any sort of shorts or trouser style pattern, there's always a bit of tweaking needed on the fit. But I'm quite happy with the fit now. It sits nice around my waist, and they're just really nice and comfy to wear. And I'll put a picture up of me wearing this outfit. It's definitely going to keep me cool today, and I'm enjoying wearing it too. So yeah, that's what I'm wearing today. I'm going to head off now. I've got the food shop to sort, a few other bits to sort. I always find Monday's a bit of a busy day because I'm kind of catching up on things I haven't done at the weekend because I've been busy with the children. So it's a bit of a life admin day. So I'm going to go off and do that, and I'll catch up again with you tomorrow. I think it's going to be equally hot tomorrow, so I'll have to get my brain thinking about what else I could wear to keep me nice and cool. So yeah, see you tomorrow. Bye. Hello, it's Tuesday morning now, and I've just got back from the school run, and it's another really hot day out there today. It was actually supposed to be my children's sports day at school this afternoon, but the school had decided to postpone it because it's just too hot for the children to be outdoors in the heat of the day, so that makes sense. I'm back home now, so I'd pop on and share with you what I'm wearing today, which is another nice summery outfit. Today I've got on an old ready-to-wear vest top, which is kind of in a sort of ribbed cotton jersey fabric, and I've got on a pair of handmade shorts. And I'll stand up so you can see a little peek of the shorts before I start to talk about the pattern. I made these shorts earlier this year for So Frugal, which is a challenge where you had to make a garment using a free pattern and fabric from your stash. And I decided to make a sort of faux play suit, and these shorts are the bottom half of the play suit. I also made a little cami top in the same fabric. But when I made that sort of play suit set, I thought it'd be quite nice to be able to use those two items separately too. So today I thought I'd try these shorts on with a black vest top, and I quite like the combination. And I made these shorts using a free pattern like I mentioned, and it is the Walk the Plank Pyjama Bottoms pattern by Patterns for Pirates. But I decided to use the pattern to make a pair of non-pyjama shorts that I could wear as a sort of summery, loose fit, relaxed pair of shorts. I'll try and put a picture up of the Walk the Plank Pyjama Bottoms pattern. It's a basic pyjama bottoms pattern for woven fabrics. It's a unisex pattern, which is quite cool. And if you do download it, it has sort of different rises for men and women, and it's got different lengths too. You can make like a sort of shorty shorts version, or a knee length shorts version, or a full length pyjama bottoms. And it's basic pattern with an elasticated waist. So it's a really simple one to sew up. And one nice thing about it is it has no side seams. So you basically just need to cut two pattern pieces, which is two legs, and they sort of wrap around and you just have a seam running down the inside. So it's a really straightforward one to come together, and to make the waistband you just kind of fold it over and insert the elastic. And the pattern has a really good size range too. It goes from extra small, which has a hip measurement starting from 33 inches, up to a plus 3X, which goes up to a hip measurement of 58 inches. And for my version here, I kind of sort of mixed and matched a few different bits from the pattern to make these shorts. I made a size small, which is designed for hip measurement of 37 to 38 inches, which is slightly larger than my hip measurement, because I wanted them to be fairly loose fitting around the hips and quite relaxed to be able to wear a sort of a pair of nice breezy sort of billowy summer shorts, I guess. And that worked really well. And with the waistband, because you bring in the elastic, the waist measurement isn't too critical on this pattern. And what I decided to do was I decided to increase the rise on the pattern. So I started from the men's rise, which is slightly higher than the ladies' rise on this pattern. And then I added a bit more to it too, to create a kind of high-waisted pair of summer shorts. And I also decided to add a little paper bag waist bit at the top. And I was quite limited with the amount of fabric I had because I was squeezing it out of fabric I had left over from another project. So my paper bag top is quite small, but I do really like it. I'll stand up so you can see the little frill at the top of these shorts. I think it's quite a nice little feature, and I think if I wear these shorts together with a matching top, you can't really see that little paper bag waist. But when I'm wearing it with a black top, you can see it better, which I quite like. And they just sewed up really nicely. I think I also added a bit to the length, so my length of these is slightly somewhere in between the shorty length and the knee length. And I'll put a picture up so you can see the length on me. I might have added maybe 2 inches or so to the length. And it was just a quite nice simple sew, and I made them in this really pretty viscose fabric, which I got from Rainbow Fabrics Kilburn quite a long time ago. I'll stand up again so you can see the fabric in a bit more detail. As you can see, it's got a really nice black base with lots of different florals on in sort of pretty summery colours like yellows and oranges and pinks and reds. And it's just quite nice and lightweight and breezy for this hot weather, so it's quite a nice and relaxed outfit to wear. And I'm really enjoying wearing them today actually, and it does make me think I'd quite like to make another pair. And if I made another pair, I think I might try and get a slightly wider paper bag frill at the top, because like I said, with this pair I was a bit limited on fabric, so I could only make a small one. And the paper bag was quite easy to do. I basically just folded over the waistband and then sort of added a line of stitching at the top before I inserted the elastic, so there was kind of an extra bit above the elastic channel, created that little paper bag at the top. But they're really nice and comfy to wear, so they'll hopefully keep me nice and cool today. So I'm going to go off now. I've got a few jobs around the house to do, and I'm hoping to get a little bit of sewing squeezed in today too, since I've got that extra time where I was expecting to be at the sports day. So I'll see you again tomorrow for Wednesday. I think it's going to cool down slightly tomorrow, which actually be quite nice because it's a bit too hot right now. So see you again tomorrow. Bye. Hello, it's Wednesday now, and I've just got back from the school run, and it's another hot day out there today. It's very close this morning. And today I decided to wear a dress that I made using one of my favourite summery woven dress patterns, which is this one here. It is the Ariana woven dress pattern by Style Arc. And this pattern's the only Style Arc pattern that I've made to date. But I've made 3 versions of this pattern, 3 Ariana dresses, because I really love it. And whenever I wear one of those Ariana dresses, I do think to myself, I should try out some more Style Arc patterns. I often see them going by on my Instagram feed, and I think their whole design is really nice, so I definitely should explore some more. But the Ariana dress pattern is a really nice one. You can make it either as a dress or a top pattern. It's got a princess seamed bodice that's fully lined, and it's got buttons down the front. There's lovely shaping around this neckline, a sort of curved neckline and straps. And then if you make the dress, it's got a gathered skirt and patch pockets. And the feature I really like on this pattern is the fact that the bodice has a sheared back panel, which means you sort of get the look of a fitted sundress, but the comfort and the stretch of the shearing, which I really like. It makes it really comfy to wear. And it's got a really good size range on this pattern too. And the pattern includes the finished garment measurements, and the smallest size is a size 4, which has a finished garment measurement on the bust of 30 3/8 of an inch. And it goes up to a size 30, and the finished garment measurement on the bust for a size 30 is 58 1/4 inches. And when I make my versions, I always go for the size 6, and the bust for that is 32 1/4 inches, which is pretty much my bust measurement. And I think you don't need too much ease in this pattern because of the shearing at the back. So the version I'm wearing today is the second version I made. I've pretty much made one each summer for the last 3 years because I really do like the pattern. And so this version, my second version, I made using a really pretty lightweight cotton fabric that I got from First for Fabrics. I think it was on special. It might have been reduced to clear. I got it quite a while ago, so I don't think it's available anymore. But it's this really pretty stripy fabric with a white base and then pink and blue stripes. So it was a bit of a challenge to put together the bodice, because I had to kind of match the stripes on all the different pattern pieces, because there are a few pattern pieces, as you can see, for the princess seams. But I'm really happy with how it came together. I did use a plain white fabric for the lining because this fabric's a bit sheer. So I thought if I put 2 layers together and the stripes weren't exactly the same place, you might be able to see the sort of lining stripes coming through. And I haven't lined the skirt of this pattern because of the gathering. There's a bit more fabric there to cover, and also I figure for a summer dress, if it's a bit sheer, it doesn't really matter too much, and I could always use a slip if I wanted, but I haven't. And I've added on these cute little pink buttons, which I think are quite sweet, and it's just really nice and comfy to wear with the shearing. And had a bit of fun with the direction of the stripes when I made this dress. I've gone for horizontal stripes on the bodice and then vertical stripes on the skirt, And I added the patch pockets and put them with horizontal stripes too. And I'll stand up so you can see a little bit of the stripes going in different directions. It's a really nice comfy dress to wear. One thing I should mention is if you haven't tried a style art pattern before, then I found their instructions a little bit on the minimal side compared to other patterns I've tried by other pattern companies. They are quite short and sweet, the instructions. So it's one of those things where if you have a bit of sewing experience under your belt, it will definitely help you to tackle this project. But it's a really lovely dress, really nice and comfy to wear. I'll put up a picture of me wearing it so you can see what it looks like on. As you can see, it's sort of a midi length dress, which is really on trend right now as well. And it's just nice and floaty in this lovely lightweight cotton, so I'm feeling nice and cool in this dress today. So that's what I'm wearing today. I better head off now and get a few jobs done. So I'll see you again tomorrow, which will be Thursday. I feel like this week is going quite fast despite the heat. So yeah, see you tomorrow. Bye. Hello, it's Thursday now, and it's actually a little bit cooler here today, which is really nice. The sun is still shining outside, but there's a bit of a breeze in the air, which is providing a bit of light relief and feels really lovely after a couple of very hot days. And today I am wearing a playsuit, which I made using this pattern here, which is the Tilly and the Buttons Alexa playsuit and jumpsuit pattern. And I've only made one version of this pattern, this playsuit, but I actually really enjoy wearing this one. I often think I might like to try the jumpsuit version too, but I'll show you the line drawings. It's a woven jumpsuit and playsuit pattern, and it's got this button down bodice with this pretty sort of slightly curved V-neck line and quite a blousey bodice with grown on sleeves. Then you can either make a short playsuit version or a jumpsuit with these tapered legs. And then the waist is sort of drawn in. It's got a channel around the waist with ties that pull it in, that give the top bodice that blousiness. And you can add on optional pockets on the front of the bodice, and also little sort of sleeve cuffs and tabs, or you can keep it just quite simple. And in terms of the size range, it goes from a UK 6 up to a UK 24, and the largest size is for bust of 48 inches. And the version I'm wearing today is a very simple playsuit version here. I made my version in this really lovely, it's a linen look viscose fabric that I got from First for Fabrics. I got it quite a while ago, and I had a check this morning to see whether they still stock this range. They used to have it in a whole range of colours, but it doesn't look like they do anymore, unfortunately. It's a really lovely fabric. So it's got the sort of lightness, the drape of viscose, but it's got a sort of linen texture to it, which is quite nice. It does crease a little bit, but I don't think that matters for a nice summery garment. And I made mine this navy blue colour. I didn't add on the pockets or the tabs because I thought with the viscose they might end up dragging and pulling a little bit, so I wanted to keep it really simple. And then I had a bit of fun by adding all these little wooden style buttons on the front, which I thought were quite cute and provide a little pop of colour and show off the little button down feature. And I've got the waist ties here, as you can see, which cinched the playsuit in nicely. And in terms of sizing, I think from memory I made the size 2 at the bust and waist, and then I graded out to the size 3 at the hips based on my measurements, because when I looked at the finished garment measurements for this one, the hips for size 2 are 37.5 inches, which I thought might be a little bit tight, so I think I graded out just to make sure they were nice and roomy around the hips, and that worked fine. And I'll put a picture up so you can see what it looks like on. It's nice and breezy and loose to wear. This viscose fabric's really nice and comfy actually, and it was quite a nice simple sew. And I always think Tilly and the Buttons instructions are really nice for holding your hand through the whole sewing process. So that's what I'm wearing today, the Alexa playsuit. And like I said, I always enjoy getting this one out, and it's nice for a day that's still quite on the hot side here. So I'm going to leave you now and get on with a few jobs, and I'll see you again for tomorrow, Friday, the final day in this week of my handmade summer wardrobe. So see you again tomorrow. Bye. Hello, it's Friday morning now, and it's the last day I'll be popping on in this video to share with you what I'm wearing for my handmade wardrobe. And I've really enjoyed popping on every day to share what I'm wearing. It's been a lot of fun, and it has made me think about what I'm reaching for in my wardrobe and pick a bit of a variety. So I've really enjoyed it, thank you, and I hope you've enjoyed watching too. So my final outfit I've got on today is a dress. It's a jersey dress that I made last year, and I made it by hacking a free sewing pattern, which is the Largo tank top by Itch to Stitch. And it's a quite nice simple jersey tank top that's quite easy to get for free. You just go on the Itch to Stitch website, which I will link down below. But I've got the line drawing here so you can see it. It's quite a simple tank top with this scoop neck It's got a neckband and armbands, and it's got a more fitted fit around the bust, and then a bit of a looser fit around the waist and hips. And in terms of sizing, it goes from a 00 up to a 20, which goes from a bust of 31 1/8 of an inch up to a bust of 46 inches. So I basically hacked this tank top by cropping it off at the waist and adding on a gathered skirt, and I'll stand up so you can see how that looks a little bit. And I made it in this lovely stripy blue and white jersey fabric that I really can't remember where it came from. It was in my stash when I made this dress, so I'd bought it quite a while ago, this one. I think I'd been planning to make a jersey top, and then I thought it'd make quite a cute dress, and as you can see I've had a little bit of a play with the direction of the stripe. So around the neckband and the armband, you can see I've gone a different way. And I made, I think, the size 0 on the Largo tank. I think I went on my bust size because the size 0 is for a bust of 32.5 inches. And it's also for a waist of 26 3/4 inches. So those are kind of pretty much my sizes. The hip measurement's slightly smaller, but I knew I was going to crop it off at the waist. The hip measurement wasn't important. But I think from memory, when I sewed it up, it fit quite nicely around the bust, but was a little bit loose on the waist because I think it's designed to sit a bit more loosely on the waist. So I brought it in a bit because I wanted it fairly close fitting, so then it could sort of go out with a gathered skirt. And then I basically just cut two sort of squares or rectangles for the gathered skirt, and then just gathered them together. So it's quite a simple little hack. And it's quite a nice, relaxed, comfy one to wear. I find these neck and armbands, they're nice and sort of got a nice amount of stretch from them, so they don't feel really restrictive. So it's a really comfy jersey dress. And I'll put a picture up of me wearing it so you can see what it looks like on. I haven't had this dress out much actually, but I'm really enjoying wearing it today. I know it'll be nice and comfy for a day at home where I'm going to be getting on with a few bits and bobs. So yeah, it's nice that this video has encouraged me to have a little rummage and get something different out from my wardrobe. So that's what I'm wearing today, and like I mentioned, it's my final day I'm going to be popping on. So I hope you've enjoyed hearing a little bit about what I've been wearing over the last week. Like I said, I've enjoyed popping on every day and catching up with you and sharing all the different outfits I've been choosing. And if you've enjoyed this video, as ever, I would love it if you would give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel, I would love it if you would consider subscribing to hear me talk about more sewing chat. I also every now and then do some sewing tutorials. I often pop on for a midweek chat as well to share sort of what I'm up to on that week on the sewing front and that sort of thing. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll hopefully see you again soon. Bye!